Hello and welcome to a late edition of my Budget With Me video. If you're new here, my name is Justin. I make weekly videos of going through my budgeting process. I get paid for my 9-to-5 job every 2 weeks, which means this video is going to be a paycheck video. On my off weeks, I usually have like extra income from side hustles that I allocate out. February, I've kind of taken a break of doing extra stuff, mainly because work has been so busy. Also, I've kind of burned myself out doing extra stuff, and I just needed a break. So probably starting in March, I will get back on that train because my goal is to pay off my car. Certainly this year, but by August would be nice. In order to do that, I would need to really work hard to get extra income set aside. So a couple housekeeping items. Shout out to Melissa from Geeky Life Savings. In my last video, I made mention that I started a wish farm. And in my wish farm, I had a desk and computer and monitors. So my current setup, I have one workstation that is kind of a mix between work and my personal stuff. So anytime I have to switch from one to the other, I have to unplug everything from my work laptop, move that out of the way, plug in everything to my personal laptop so that I can use my monitors. She watched my video and she suggested getting a KVM switch. I didn't think of that. I had never heard of those before, but essentially what it does is it's an all-in-one unit that you plug all of your stuff into, your monitors, your mouse, your keyboard, your webcam, your microphone. Basically everything that you plug into your laptops would just get plugged into that. And then you plug your laptops into that KVM switch, and just by pressing a button, it transfers all of those items that are plugged in to one laptop or the other. That would save me a lot of hassle unplugging everything. I can kind of rework my current work area to accommodate 2 laptops because I do use a laptop screen as a third mini monitor. And so I would just need to reorganize kind of how my stuff is set up so that I can have one laptop on my left, one laptop on my right, and both monitors kind of in the middle. So because of that, I added a KVM switch item to my wish farm. That's going to run me a couple $100. Like ones that I'm looking at are between 100 and 250. So it just depends on what one I get, how much money I'm going to need for that. But that is something I've put into my wish farm. Also, you'll see that I have moving fees in my wish farm. I have come to know that I am severely overpaying in rent for the space that I have. So long story short, when I moved into this property 3 years ago, they were still building it. I was one of the first residents who moved in. And so at that time when I moved in, the supply was limited because they didn't have that many units available, which made the price be much higher than where they currently are. Well, fast forward 3 years, obviously the property is fully built out. Market has adjusted and kind of flattened the rent costs around here. And so I am actually paying more for my 1-bedroom, 1-bath than I would be paying for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath unit. And I'm not talking like $10 or $15. I'm talking a couple $100. On average, the units that are 2-bedroom, 1-bath are anywhere from $1,300 to like $1,600 base rent. I'm paying $1,720 base rent. I have been wanting to upgrade to a 2-bedroom because I do want to have a second bedroom as an office for a workspace. That way I'm not using my kitchen counter. So I do want to move to a 2-bedroom unit, but with that is going to come with some fees that I have to pay. So my property charges a $400 transfer fee. I don't know what that covers. That's a lot of money just to move units, considering I've been here for 3 years and have been overpaying by hundreds of dollars on rent compared to everybody else who's in a 1-bedroom unit. So that sucks, but I do need to pay that up front. And then they said there was also another like $100 or $150 fee for something else in order to move units. So all in, I would be looking at about $550 to $600 to move units. I have put that in as a wish farm item, in particular about the unit that I move into, just because I want a little bit of privacy. One, because the dog. So all of our units have backyards. My backyard from the door to the back wall is maybe like 10 feet, 10 to 15 feet. And then from left to right, it measures probably like 30 to 40 feet. So it's a decent backyard. My backyard is one of the bigger ones for the 1-bedroom units, but I don't have anybody behind me. Like I'm in the back of the property along the back wall, the line of the property. And the only thing I have to deal with are neighbors on my left and right that I share a wall, with. Most of the units, the 2-bedroom units, I would have people behind me, like directly behind me. And they're in the middle of the property, which means like near congregation areas, like dog park, the pool, areas like that. I don't want to be around those areas. So I'm going to hold out for a more desirable unit. And once it becomes available, I will move to a 2-bedroom apartment. In the meantime, I do need to kind of bank up money to pay the fees when they come due. So I'm going to put that as a priority for me to do. I don't know if that's something I can do with this paycheck. Honestly, I have been so slammed at work that I haven't really thought through what I'm going to do with my money. So me filming this video is me thinking about it for the first time. Normally, I have a plan. Some things might change. I might think about it as I'm doing it. But in this video, it is 100% off the top of my head. So I don't know what I'm going to have in terms of extra money to throw at that after I pay the bills I need to pay. With that said, my paycheck is the usual paycheck I'm getting. My 5% increase because of pulling double duty at work didn't make it into this paycheck, so it'll make it into the next paycheck. They've backdated it, so I will be getting a decent chunk of change. I think a couple $100 certainly for a backdated amount, and then moving forward, it'll be, I think 5% is like $100 a paycheck, something like that. With that said, the recruitment for the open position is closed. I put my application in for it. So fingers crossed I get that. Like I said in my last video, it would be very surprising if I wasn't selected for the position. I'm already doing the position as I'm filling both roles. And the skill set that I have with, visualizations, coding, and things like that, it would be a very smooth transition. With that will come a 5% raise. So I'm already getting 5% specialty pay for filling 2 positions. When I move into the open position, that will come with a 5% raise, and I will still retain the 5% specialty pay because when I move into that position, my current position that I'm holding will be vacant. And so I will need to still pull double duty. So for the foreseeable future, at least the next couple months, I will be getting a 10% raise, which is pretty awesome. So that is pretty much all the updates with my life and my budget. Now we can go ahead and get into allocating my stuff. My paycheck is $1834.54. I do have an overspent category. In my world, I don't overspend. Certainly with how I budget, I just need to move money between categories. All of my overspending is done in my discretionary fund. So I have an account at Capital One with a debit card that I put money in there for discretionary items. Anytime I go to a restaurant to get food, it comes out of that account. The only thing it's overspent is because that money in the category is not in that category. So we'll go ahead and move that from my discretionary account to that category. So now this 3440 matches my 3440 in the account balance, follows right in the world. My next priority is moving into March. This is my second paycheck of the month, which means I'm going to complete putting aside the money for my March rent. The difference, so I already have $965 set aside. I need to put an additional $943 and 34 cents. My rent is $1908.34 this month. So now I'm going to move in. I'm going to go back to March. I just want to make sure. So my underfunded sinking fund. Okay, so I've been setting money, or I set a little bit of money aside in my last paycheck to cover MLB TV starting in March. That's $200. I've set aside, I think, like $40, $45 or something like that. So I have $158 that I still need. So I'm going to put that money, it was non-monthly. So I'm going to assign that money because I do want to pay for that on March 1st. If I need to, like I said, I don't know what, I don't know how the cards are going to fall. So if I need to pull that money out, I can, but I definitely want to make that a priority. So that means I am all funded for March. For February. So now I'm going to move into March. I get paid again on the 12th. So every 2 weeks on the 12th. I need to cover all of my bills between now and the 12th. So that's going to be storage, cell phone, my groceries. I go grocery shopping on the 1st. I don't need gas. Still got a full tank. I'm not going to do household items quite yet. I'm not running out of anything. I think on the 12th, I can kind of assess how I'm going to do that. So I'll skip that for now. Utilities. I do need to put money aside for utilities. Non-monthly. $1667. So I'm going to write that down. I'm going to come back to that. 16. Oh, actually. We'll come back to that. Because I don't know if this is for this time or if this is starting next year's, like 2026. I'm not going to do those yet. I don't have anything here. I'm going to do all of that first. So I have 277. Wow. I ran out of money fast, huh? Okay. So I want to check this. Okay. So that's 16. This 1670. What was it? 1667. That's starting building up the money for 2026 renewal. So I can take care of that on my paychecks in March. Same thing with these. I can take care of those with my paychecks in March. Okay, so I have $277.07. Let me think. I paid my bills for February. I've covered the bills through the 12th of March. I don't have any credit card payments I need to deal with. I'm not going to do household. I'm not going to set aside for gas. So I can do a couple things with this money. This is enough money to buy a KVM switch. So I can put that money there and buy that. I can put this towards moving. I can put it in both. Or I can put this towards my car fund. So I'm going to put this towards the KVM switch. I know this is enough money to buy one. I know that I do really want one. Like I can implement that product into my life right away. I don't need to wait till I have a desk to do that. So I'm going to put this in there. Actually, I'm not going to put it in March. I'm going to put it in February because I am going to purchase it in February. So I'm going to put this right here in February. And that means that I am done allocating all of my money. I've taken care of the bills that I need to get paid before my next paycheck. I have prioritized a productivity item. And yeah, I can't think of anything else. So I'm just going to do one. I'm going to do one last sweep. Yeah, so I think everything is good. Any extra money that I have from purchasing that KVM switch, I'm going to move. Either I'm going to move it into moving, or I am going to move it into discretionary. One of those two. It's not going to be enough to really make a difference on my car, but I'm not going to move it to there. So yeah, that's going to end this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and watching me struggle with assigning my money, not knowing exactly how it was going to play out. Look out for my next video. Like I said, I do weekly videos, so I will post another video next week, Wednesday. We'll see you then.